Hello Virgo, Elsie here to do your reading for the month of March. Thank you for clicking here, Virgo. I do appreciate you. If you are brand new to Ten of Cups Tarot, welcome here. And if you are someone who always clicks here, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate your subscriptions and pressing that bell button so you know when I'm uploading for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for doing all of that for me, and thanks for the ways that you've been loving on me on this channel. So whether you are brand new or the one that keeps clicking here, I am here to give you an overall view of March of 2024. Let's take a look at it for you, Virgo. We're going to do something a little different this time. The last couple of times I've done monthly readings, we've done love, career, and finance. I'm going to do a little bit of a bigger spread, and we're going to give you a little more diverse information here. Let's start it. So the first card out is going to be about your current self. You are waiting on something. Second card out is the overall theme for the month. Okay. It's about making some changes and stop settling, walking away from things that no longer serve you here. I feel like you are making some decisions, and I feel like first you're waiting to see how someone else moves so you can move accordingly. That's what these two cards together make me feel like. You're waiting on someone else to make their move. You're waiting to see if they're going to leave, and if not, maybe you're going to look over the situation and wonder if you even need them. The next card out is a key goal to pursue. Key goal to pursue is holding back. There it is. That's your card, Virgo. And it's about moving slowly. Moving slowly and, yeah, in a way that doesn't rock the boat. I feel like you need to be patient with yourself as you're in this energy here. And it feels like this is a key goal to pursue. Moving really slowly toward a goal in March, I think, is what you're supposed to do. We have an obstacle to overcome. The obstacle to overcome is yourself. You're in your own way, my friend. The obstacle to overcome here is the Hermit energy. So that is being too quiet, being detached, not talking to anybody, but also being full of wisdom. And I feel like that the obstacle to overcome is not the wisdom of it, but I feel like it gets really comfortable in hermit mode. So I feel like you need to make sure that you are not becoming detached or detaching from people around you. The next card is a major accomplishment. Major accomplishment is coming to a place where you know that you have all the details, that you've been spending so much time thinking by yourself in wisdom. It feels like you need to realize your capabilities and some of your accomplishments. I think that the major accomplishment is to realize that you are accomplished, that you do have all the tools, that you're very skilled and resourceful, and that you are a master manifester, that whatever you want does want you. You just got to ask the universe for it in detail. And we have what to avoid in March. What should you avoid? It feels like what you should avoid is being silent, being by yourself. And I understand that I see you, Virgo, and I always have, because any of the Virgos that I've ever met, Virgo sun anyway, the Virgo risings are a whole different animal, but the Virgo suns are very intuitive, very psychic even in some ways, very grounded, feeling vibrations through the earth. And I feel like if you are the rising, you're the one that I love because you're great in business. I had to pick your brain. Yeah. So I feel like the High Priestess is telling me that that this is what to avoid: feeling too disconnected or being too quiet, not speaking with people, keeping secrets, that kind of thing. What should you embrace in the month of March? I think you should embrace the Three of Swords. I don't know if you're dealing with someone who's Capricorn, but Capricorn just got the same card in the same place. The Three of Swords is people are going to disappoint you. People are going to break your heart. I feel like you need to stop going into this hermit mode, quiet place, not dealing with anybody, being by yourself, not saying anything, not communicating with people who even want to hear from you, friends and such. I feel like this is something that you really need to embrace, is that people are going to disappoint you. Tell me where Virgo can find support. Sorry about that. Tell me where Virgo can find support in March. In the Hanged Man. I don't know why my throat chakra is all acting up all of a sudden. All right. It's telling me that you really don't want to speak. You really don't want to talk to people. So the Hanged Man energy, it feels like with this being in your energy of where to find support, that that your support is going to be within you, within your intuition. I feel like looking at things from every possible point of view, which I think that you do anyway, because you're very much about the details, and not only about yourself, but I think it's about other people. Really look at other people, and without being critical of them, just quietly observe them and see if they're going to disappoint you or not. It feels like with the Hanged Man being where to find the support, it might be a place that you want to sort of go in and out of. A place of thinking, trying to understand other people and the way that they are. This is your advice. Keep it all under wraps, I think. I don't think you're supposed to share everything with everyone. Now, I know that that is sort of counterintuitive to what I said over here, but I feel like if you stay in hermit mode too long, you're going to become detached. And being in the hermit mode and being in the moon energy are two different things. This is just not letting everybody know what your next move is. That's what that is. And I feel like it's coming out as your advice because it feels like you are someone who maybe is acquainted with the dark, is what I want to say. That maybe you've spent a lot of time in this Hanged Man energy in the month of March, thinking about people who have disappointed you and being very silent with people who have disappointed you. I feel like this is showing up as your advice because things aren't really, they aren't really as they look from the outside in. And I think that that you should keep some things to yourself under the surface. Don't share everything with everyone. We do have a Tower as this overall energy here. The Tower is telling me that there is some sort of surprise that's coming in. It is a page-like surprise. I want to say it's somebody putting energy into you, somebody who is bringing you some type of an opportunity. And I feel like you've been holding on to something old, but it is time for the new. And it's going to really make you feel inspired to move forward here. All right. Let's take a look and clarify a bit. Make sure I got all these cards right. There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look. Tell me about the Three of Wands. This is your current self. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting for, my friend? The Knight of Swords. You're waiting on some sort of communication, possibly. You're waiting for someone. I feel that you feel someone is arriving, possibly. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse. Somebody who has been holding back from you or who has... could be a situation as well. The Five of Wands in the reverse is no more indecision. Somebody has made a decision about you and they no longer want to fight themselves. It's like they've been fighting themselves, holding themselves back. They want to say something to you and they're no longer going to fight that here. And I think you know it. The Three of Wands is on the Three of Wands. I feel like you're waiting for them to come to you. It feels like there was something here that happened that that maybe you pulled away from. Somebody pulled away from you or you pulled away from them. I think you're like, it's almost like your silence is the punishment. Like you're just saying, you know what, if you want me, you come get me. When you've decided that you've made a decision that you don't have anyone else in your life, competition, right? Which is the Five of Wands, but in the reverse, it's like no more competition. When you've made that decision, you come get me and I'll be waiting here on the shoreline for you. So it feels like that's what your current energy is. Tell me about the overall theme for the month, which is the Eight of Cups. I think that you're not settling for anything anymore. I think that's your overall theme for March. We've got the Nine of Wands. You're tired. You're exhausted. You're tired of being hurt by people and them, making you wait for things, making you, it feels like you're settling for people who would hurt you. Yeah, and you've been hurt enough. I want to say that this ivy is climbing up this Ace of Wands here, and it feels like you've been waiting for this cycle to close. You can close this cycle on your own, though. You don't have to wait for anyone else. I think that's what this theme is about for the month. I feel like you're going to be dropping burdens and deciding that you are not going to settle for the Eight of Cups anymore, that you're just going to get on the outside. You're going to disconnect from people who are trying to get you to stay in a vibration that you don't want to stay in. You're tired of getting hurt, and you are going to be making decisions to disconnect, walk away emotionally, and even if it is the Four of Wands. So you could be, for some of you, in a relationship in the month of March, or maybe coming into the beginning of March. Maybe you're in this relationship and you're like, I think I just need to disconnect from this because it's become exhausting and I don't want to settle for this anymore. So I think the overall theme is, if you are in a relationship, that you are deciding to disconnect from it because you're tired of getting hurt, you're feeling exhausted, and you don't want to settle anymore. If you're not in a relationship, I think for some of you, you might be moving, because the Five of Pentacles tells me either you can't afford where you're living, or possibly you need to downsize, maybe that you might be leaving one place to go to another. The Five of Pentacles is here. It could indicate a little bit of financial trouble and a little bit of lack, or feeling like you don't have enough. It is about scarcity. I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough money. So it could be more of a mindset. But I think for some of you that that you are moving away from the place that you were. That I feel like you're not ready to tangle with anybody who's ready for anything serious. That you're just not settling for 8 cups, you're looking for the 10. Tell me about the key goal to pursue for Virgo, please. This key goal here, the Knight of Pentacles. Take your time, be patient, check with your intuition. The High Priestess is someone who is quite psychic. That could be you, psychic, a card reader, somebody who is a medium, possibly someone who feels vibration. The Knight of Pentacles is on the ground, feeling vibrations through the ground. I feel like you're supposed to take things slow and check with your intuition before you make any moves. So there's a 7 of Cups here, and I want to say that you're going to have a lot of opportunities coming to you, but it's going to overwhelm you because all the opportunities are going to be coming in at once, Virgo. And this person here, the 7 of Cups, is looking over to the High Priestess for information. Like, what do I do here? What cup do I pick? So it does feel like there will be opportunities coming at you, a lot of them that are of the heart space, and you're going to have to make a choice. But I feel like you're supposed to slow down, check with your intuition before you make any sudden moves about this Ace of Cups. So it does feel like there might be some love that is coming toward you in the month of March here, but you're supposed to look it over really, really closely before you decide to dive in. The obstacle to overcome is coming out of hermit mode. You're not going to meet anybody if you don't come out of this hermit mode once in a while. 6 of Cups is in the reverse. We do have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you need to liberate yourself from the hermit mode here. And we do have the 9 of Pentacles. I feel like you that you have realized that you want to be single, because I think with the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands, it's telling me that you're not interested in a stable sort of relationship. You don't want to live with anybody. You're not interested in getting engaged. It feels like you have put yourself on the outside looking in because you're waiting for the right person at the right time. I want to say that this coming up here in your obstacle to overcome with the hermit mode is like, if you, it feels like you need to once in a while liberate yourself from the hermit mode. It's not always about the wisdom and the learning. It can become detachment if you stay there for too long. The 6 of Cups in the reverse is telling me you're never going to meet a soulmate if that's what you're after. Some of you aren't. But if you're never going to meet a soulmate if you don't liberate yourself from the hermit mode once in a while. And it feels like with the 9 of Pentacles, I just want to say that I feel like you want to stay single. That you would love to have somebody that you could go out with, maybe go for coffee, go for dinner. But I don't think you're interested in getting tangled up in some sort of a long-term relationship at this point. So we have a major accomplishment, and I think that the reason you're making these decisions is because in the month of March, you are realizing that you are the magician. It's up to you. You float the boat. You're the captain. You make all the decisions, and it feels like you realize that you do have everything that you need, all the skills, you're resourceful, you're determined, you have all of the tools that you need. It feels like a realization of your worth is what it is. So that's what it feels like to me. Tell me about this major accomplishment of the magician. We have the Queen of Cups. Now, I feel like the Queen of Cups is somebody who is compassionate, loving and kind, someone who is willing to give a cup. I feel with the 8 of Swords showing up here that you are, I feel like while being in hermit mode, you have figured out that you are the Queen of Cups. You are kind and loving and compassionate and deep and psychic and all of those things, maybe a great mother or a great father, but I don't think you're willing to share that with anybody right now. You're too much up in your head. I think you're obsessively thinking about what it would feel like to be in a relationship that was actually reciprocal here. But it feels like with the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Cups coming up that you're not ready to share your love with anybody. But I do feel that what you are overcoming is that. I feel like you're going to realize you are the magician, and you've got the Ace of Swords. You can do whatever you want at any time you want to do it. You can be happy. The magician can just will it. The magician can manifest it. I feel like you're a master manifester, and you can do that if you want to do that this month. But I do believe that you will be realizing your worth, and that in itself is going to make you place boundaries. And maybe the Eight of Swords are boundaries, and you're like within those boundaries, obsessively thinking about those boundaries, that you've decided that you're not really going to be sharing your love with people, and it feels like you're happy that way. I want to say that you found your worth, and it's really kind of beautiful. And then we have what to avoid. So what to avoid is the High Priestess. Why is this? Yeah, it feels like you need to speak to people more. I feel like you need to have more conversations, and because a lot of the clarity, like a lot of our prayers and our manifestations are answered through speaking to other people or meeting other people, whether they're strangers or if we know them, they're in our family or whatever. A lot of the times it's with strangers, and we do have the Ace of Swords. And so I feel like you need to get out there and talk a little more. That's going to give you more clarity. You need to open conversation. It's like staying silent has its place as well, being in this this High Priestess energy, but it's time for you to get out and speak with people. It's time for you to make some sort of a decision. And when you decide to come out of this High Priestess energy, the silence, the mystery, all of that, I feel like you decide to make some sort of a big decision. And the big decision I feel is that I've got enough wisdom. I've worked on myself as far up to here. I do have light, I have hope, and it's time for you to make a decision to come out of this silence. Silence is here as well. We do have Virgo and Pisces energy here. I do believe you're going over details by the end of the month about what I want to do, who do I want to speak with, who do I want to give my energy to. I feel like there is some sort of a decision you're making, or maybe someone's coming back around to speak with you, someone who's been healing as well. Take it as it resonates for you. We are looking at now what to embrace. I think you need to embrace the fact that people are going to disappoint you. And when you come to a place where you are going to allow people to be who they are, you're going to realize people are going to disappoint you. You need to just watch them. You're the watcher, by the way. You just need to watch them and see what they're going to do. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Chariot. I feel like you're running for the hills. Anybody who you even sniff out as being disingenuous, someone who's hiding things under the surface, someone who's not being honest with you. I feel like there already are people in your life that are like this, but I feel like you've decided that you are going to get the heck out of there, that you need victory. I feel like you've been juggling back and forth. It feels like you're being reminded you should keep yourself in the present moment in order to make all decisions, good decisions. But it feels like you've been juggling. You've been juggling whether or not to let people back into your life, even the ones who have disappointed you. And I would say to you, if they stress you out and you have to juggle and be the fool in front of them, you have to be the jester in front of them and juggle all sorts of things in order to be in their life, or you to be in their life and them to be in yours, it's not even worth it. It's time to come to terms with the fact that not everybody is going to be jiving with the way you live your life. And we all need to live our lives the way we're going to lead them. I want to say that I feel like whenever you smell any scent, you pick up a scent of anybody who's going to be, keeping anything under the surface, I feel like you're dealing with it in the way of the Chariot. You're just getting your energies together, balancing yourself and moving forward. And tell me about the Hanged Man here. The Hangman is where to find support. So I think you should be finding support in surrender. Surrendering to the universe. What do I do? Please help me out. Tell me what I'm supposed to be doing at this time. I feel like your help is coming from your source, whether you are in prayer or meditation or you're a manifestor, whatever it is. Tell me where to find support. Support is in the Four of Cups. I feel like it's keeping to yourself a little bit. It's also working on yourself. And we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. It feels like whatever you have strayed from in your life that's been emotional, I feel like you're coming back to that. And I want to say that if you had something that you used to do before somebody, came into your life and was lying to you or cheating you, I feel like you're going back to those practices. And those practices, I feel, for some of you, is that you are working on yourself. I think it's self-mastery with the Eight of Pentacles here. Some of you could be going back to an old job, absolutely. One that maybe was kind of boring you, but I feel like it's a place where you are making money. The Eight of Pentacles is here. But for others of you, I feel like you are going back to a place, or you're going back to you, finding you again, that maybe you had lost yourself at some point in the last couple of months, but it's time to come back to yourself here. The Four of Cups is not a bad place to be. I mean, nothing really exciting is happening there. You're not really sharing your energy, and you're not really bringing in energy, but I think that has its place as well. I feel like some of you are finding yourself, coming back to you. Why is the advice the moon energy here for Virgo, please? That's Pisces and Cancer energy. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the Page of Swords, and we have the Tower. You're about to find something out that you didn't know. Some things are not as they seem. The advice is to keep a lookout, be on high alert. Things are not as they seem. You're about to find something out that you didn't know. There is something some information that's coming to you, and it's probably coming to you around about the end of the month. It feels like there is a tower. It's going to shake you. It's a shock. Let's take a look at this here. Tell me why the tower's here, please. There's a big shocker coming at the end of the month here. It's going to shake you down. It's something that knowledge that you're going to come to that you didn't have before. Tell me about the Tower. Somebody who didn't show you their feelings or their emotions is hoping that you're going to speak with them. It feels like you have been avoiding somebody. That's what it feels like. You've been avoiding them, blocking them, not talking to them. It feels like somebody has feelings for you and they're hoping that you will speak with them. I feel like you're going to learn something about this person that you didn't know before. With the Knight of Wands present, it could be that this person had been cheating on you. Maybe you had been in a relationship with them. The Ace of Wands, Strength. I think you're supposed to hold back from this person, or it's going to end up in a bad place. I'm just saying, I feel that you're supposed to hold yourself back from the Ace of Wands. This is someone you had a physical relationship with before. And I feel like if you get into it again, if you don't hold yourself back, if you don't have the courage to hold yourself back from the Ace of Wands, I feel like it's going to end up in a crash and burn. But I do feel like somebody here who you have blocked, or someone who you've kicked out of your life, is hoping that you're going to speak with them again. And we have Aquarius energy here. We do have the Tower, which is the Two of Swords. So I think the Tower is breaking down this block. Somebody's going to find a way in. So if you've blocked them on social media, or maybe you've moved and they don't know your house, or whatever it is, somebody's going to find a way in, whether that's through email, a phone number, somebody gave someone else your information. If you engage in this thing again, it's just going to crash and burn again. The Tower is here, right? There is something new that's coming. So with this Tower falling here, I feel like there's something new that's coming. So don't let this person drag you back into something that you don't want to be in, because we do have this here as well. We do have the Tower here. We do have the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. We won't ignore that. And I feel like you worry that you're never going to find your person. I feel like it's going to take some time and you need to be patient. It's all about the self-worth, right, for you? And I feel like there's big love coming next time. That this is something that starts out as a page, it surprises you, and it grows into the King of Cups kind of love. And it does feel like it ends in the Ten of Cups. So I'm going to say make sure that you don't go back to old ways, old default ways. It feels like you need to keep growing. You need to keep nurturing the self, and I feel like you worry you're never going to find your person. I do believe your person is here. They could be a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a beautiful March, and I'll be back, of course, to give you weekly reads, Virgo. I hope you take care. I'm going to go for now. Love you guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.